Welcome back. All right. So in light of last night's Pittsburgh Penguins game where they beat Buffalo 6-5, but more importantly, Evgeni Malkin scores his 500th career goal in a game that Crosby also reached 1,600 points. So Crosby and Malkin have been together for a very long time, and of course you got to mention Letang in there too because it's been a three-headed monster for Pittsburgh for a long time. And when Malkin was drafted second overall in 2024, behind only Alex Ovechkin, there was a lot of debate about how good Malkin might be. And when he came over and started playing for Pittsburgh, honestly, that 1-2 punch down the middle of Crosby and Malkin, one of the best 1-2 punches down the middle that I've seen in my time watching hockey. But yeah, Malkin has been amazing. Now, something I have said for years is that if Malkin played on most other teams in the NHL, he'd be the number one center, the go-to guy. I think he'd have even more points. I think that we would be talking more and more about him as just, obviously first ballot Hall of Famer. Not that he won't be. He will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, I think. But for Malkin, I think that playing, not necessarily in Crosby's shadow, because it's not like he doesn't get any attention, but he obviously doesn't get the attention he would if he played on a team where he was the guy. I think it's commendable he stayed in Pittsburgh. He's never been one to talk about, being in the shadow of Sid at all. He's been paid very well, which helps, but he's had an amazing career. Now, 06-07, he comes in and he joins a Pittsburgh team that, 05-06, didn't necessarily have a lot of regular season success, but Crosby had an excellent rookie season. Well, it was his turn. 78 games, 33 goals, 52 assists, 85 points. He did win the Calder Trophy that year. In the playoffs, 5 games, 4 assists. So you have a Pittsburgh team that is pretty darn good. They're young, they're hungry, they're ready to go. And 07-08, he plays all 82 games for Pittsburgh. 47 goals, which is 4th overall in the NHL. 59 assists, which is 6th overall. His 106 points, 2nd in league scoring. And in the playoffs, 20 games, 10 goals, 12 assists, 22 points. He would finish 2nd in Hart voting. He's a first-team All-Star, plays in the All-Star game, and that was a year that Pittsburgh learned what it takes to win. They lost in that final against Detroit, and obviously took some notes because things would change the next season, 08-09. Again, he plays all 82 games, 35 goals, 78 assists, which leads the league that year. His 113 points leads the league too. So you have Crosby, you have Malkin, you have superstars either way. 24 games in the playoffs, 14 goals, 22 assists, 36 points. He sets a record for points by a Russian-born player in the playoffs that year. He wins the Art Ross Trophy. He's 2nd in Hart voting. He's an All-Star, as in he's at the All-Star game. Conn Smythe Trophy, yep. And a first-team All-Star. So he goes from 2nd in the Hart one year to 2nd in the Hart the next. He may have had multiple Hart trophies if not for the fact that there were some other really good, excellent young players in the NHL. So, Stanley Cup wins done. He hasn't missed very many games. That would change in 09-10. In fact, he wouldn't play a full season of games for a while. Played 67 games, 28 goals, 49 assists, 77 points. In the playoffs, 13 games, 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. In 2010-2011, he only plays 43 games that year. 15 goals, 22 assists, 37 points. So it's interesting that at this point in time, Crosby, of course, dealing with concussion issues. Malkin dealing with injury issues as well, and a lot of debate about the longevity of both careers. And yet, here we are, well over a decade later. 2011-2012, he plays 75 games that season. His 50 goals are 2nd in the NHL. 59 assists are 3rd. His 109 points is 1st. It is the only 50-goal season in his career, which might surprise some. In the playoffs, he plays 6 games, 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points. He wins the Hart Trophy, the Pearson Trophy, which is now, of course, the Ted Lindsay Award. The Art Ross, he's a first-team All-Star. He plays in the All-Star game. So there's not much else for him to do. He's got Hart Trophy, Art Ross, Pearson, again, which is now the Lindsay, Conn Smythe. What else is there? 2012-2013, plays 31 games, 9 goals, 24 assists, 33 points. In the playoffs, 15 games, 4 goals, 12 assists, 16 points. So he's very good in the playoffs, very reliable during the regular season. Now, that is a lockout shortened season, but it's a 48-game season. He plays 31 of them. So the conversation about how many games Malkin might miss in a season really start picking up steam there. 2013-2014, I mean that from a fantasy perspective. He's excellent when he's in the lineup, but the question becomes how many games could he miss? Well, 2013-2014, he plays 60 games that year, 23 goals. He has 49 assists, or 10th overall, 72 points. In the playoffs, 13 games, 6 goals, 8 assists, 14 points. And I think during this era, that the injuries may very well have cost him Art Ross trophies as well. 2014-2015, plays 69 games, 28 goals, 42 assists, 70 points. No points in 5 playoff games that year. 2015-2016, he plays 57 regular season games, 27 goals, 51 assists, 58 points. In the playoffs, 23 games, 6 goals, 12 assists, 18 points. Played in the All-Star game that year, and he wins the Stanley Cup in 2016. 2016-2017, 82 games, 33 goals, 39 assists, 72 points. So he drops below a point per game there. In the playoffs, 25 games, 10 goals, 18 assists, 28 points, and his third Stanley Cup. And of course, he's above a point per game in the playoffs, showing that Evgeni Malkin can really raise his game. The one thing with Malkin during this era, too, that was impressive to me was he could be pretty good and then just kind of turn that on. He had that next level that he could go to. And when he did it, it was very, very difficult, if not impossible, to stop him out there. So 2017-2018, he plays 78 games that season, 42 goals, which is 4th overall in the NHL, 56 assists. His 98 points are 4th overall as well. In the playoffs, 9 games, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points. He finished 7th in Hart voting that year, so, I mean, he gets some Hart consideration. 2018-2019, 68 games played, 21 goals, 51 assists for 72 points. In the playoffs, just the 4 games, 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points. One issue that the Pittsburgh Penguins have had since 2018, they get knocked out in the second round. They haven't won a round since then. And so Malkin, of course, and Crosby, Letang, and others looking to turn that around this season. 2019-2020, 55 games played, 25 goals, 49 assists, 74 points. We then had the pause, and in the bubble playoffs, he plays 4 games, just the 1 assist. They were upset in the qualifying round by Montreal Canadiens, team led by Carey Price. He's 10th in Hart voting that year. 2020-2021, so this is a 56-game season. He only plays 33 games that year, 8 goals, 20 assists, 28 points. In the playoffs, 4 games, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points. 2021-2022, he misses half the season that year. Plays 41 games, 20 goals, 22 assists, 42 points. 7 games in the playoffs, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points. What's interesting is, since that season where he missed half the year, he hasn't missed a game since. 2022-2023, 82 games, 27 goals, 56 assists, 83 points. Last season, 82 games, 27 goals, 40 assists, 67 points. So a big drop-off in assists. This year, the assists have jumped right back up. Thus far, the 2024-2025 season, he's played 5 games, 2 goals, 9 assists, 11 points. He is leading the league in points and assists. We'll see if that can continue. That'd be insane for him to be able to do that in his late 30s. We shall see. So to this point, he's played 1,150 games in the National Hockey League. He has 500 goals, which is 47th overall in the National Hockey League. His 807 assists is 34th in the National Hockey League's history. His 1,307 points is 36th, and he's nowhere near done at this stage. 177 playoff games. We'll see if they add to that this year. 67 goals, 113 assists, 180 points. Internationally, he has had some success as well. The World Championships, gold medal, 2012 and 2014, silver medal, 2010 and 2015, bronze medal in 2005, 2007, and 2019. At the World Juniors, so prior to coming over and playing in the NHL, he won the silver in 2005 and 2006. It has been an insanely good career for him thus far. And again, this is another career, so I looked at Edler's career a couple days ago. A lot of games missed by Edler, and there's a lot of games missed by Malkin too, and probably an extra 150 to 200 points, somewhere in that range anyways. But I think he will get that back. So, while it's questionable that he'll score at above 2 points per game for the whole season, it's been a really strong start for him. He's passed 1,300 points. He's got over 800 assists. He's got 500 goals. It's just a matter of when he goes in the Hall of Fame, because, of course, you got to retire first. And I don't think that's the plan anytime soon for these players, despite the fact they're in their late 30s. Crosby, Malkin, Letang, all of them. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Where does Malkin rank in the all-time scheme of things? And again, I feel like, if he was the number one center on a team his whole career, and the team was he was the go-to guy, we'd probably have more points too. But he has really enjoyed his role in Pittsburgh, and he's got 3 championships that way. So probably wouldn't trade the championships for some extra points. Let me know your thoughts, though. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon. Very, very soon. I don't know why I said it like that, but I'll talk to you again soon. It's much better.